So, folks, let's go into Dawson County. Now, I'm going to make this brief. You can go to fetchyournews.com, and I'll tell you where you can go with this in a minute. You can go to fetchyournews.com, and you can read the article. Now, the Board of Commissioners, and let's put up the Dawson Board of Commissioners there, Lonnie. And let me get to that. I have it here somewhere. I had I thought I had that. I should. No, I can't find it. But Dawson Board of Commissioners, all right, they set the budget, all right? They set the budget for all of the departments and offices in the county. Your county set its budget. So this is the group, and I had it up a minute ago. I had the website a minute ago. I must have misplaced where I put the website, all jokes aside, to name all the commissioners. But that's the Board of Commissioners of Dawson County. Now, they are being sued. They set the budget. Now, let me just give you a brief, all right? And leave the Board of Commissioners up here at Dawson County for a minute. When your county sets a budget, a department has to live by whatever the county says. So if you have a department in your county, that falls under your commission, which is a group, 2 men, 3 men, or people, okay? Whatever the commission is. The department has to live by the budget set by the commission. But constitutional officers, that means if you went out and elected somebody to do something for your county, you elected your tax commissioner, okay? You elected your sheriff, you elect your your tax commissioner, your sheriff. There's several offices that you go, probate judge, magistrate judge, several in your county that are people you went to the ballot box and elected. But still yet, the only taxing authority is the commission. That's it. Only taxing authority by the Constitution of the state of Georgia. And it's the authority that has to set the millage rate to pay for the budget they set, to operate. So your county has to operate. So the commission by the state of Georgia is the only one that has the constitutional right to collect taxes. That being said, their responsibility is to see what's coming in, property tax, not SPLOST, special purpose local option sales tax, because SPLOST is a special purpose. You can buy equipment, you can only buy specific things. You cannot use it for operating expenses. SPLOST cannot be used for operating expenses. SPLOST cannot be used for payroll. Okay? Can't do it. So the operating expenses of this county is property tax coming in. They set a budget to match, to equal it, okay? So it's very important that this commission go to the tax commissioner and say, what's coming in? And then it's that the tax commissioner says, we always use 20 million, all right, for a simple. Tax commissioner says, $20 million. Well, then the commission says, okay, we're collecting, what's coming in is 20 million. We're at a 96% collection rate, so 4% of that's not coming in. So here's what we got to work with. Now, it's the commission's job to divvy it up, as they say. Divvy it up, get it to the appropriate offices, appropriate, departments. Now, there's some years Board of Elections needs more because it's an election year. So you can have a Board of Election that needs a budget of $30,000, and then you can have a Board of Election next year that needs $90 because it's an election year and everybody's up for election. All right, because it could be different things. But it's their job to take the property tax, mirror it up with the operating expenses of the county, and try to divide it and make sure everybody can do their job appropriately according to the mandates and what's required of the state of Georgia. Simple as that, right? Well, if you're a constitutional officer, what you do every year is you put in a budget request. You put in a budget request. Now, I'm going to keep this in a narrow box because I'm going to give you a place to go look this up. All right, so you put in a budget request. As a constitutional, sheriff puts in one, clerk, magistrate puts in one, probate puts in one, your tax commissioner, you put in your budget. Now it's up to the commission to work with you and see if you can make cuts. Can you reduce it? Can you not get as much? So it's my experience, these offices come in high, knowing that not just these people, but the commission in most of the counties are going to try to work it down as much as they can. So that being said, let's put up the sheriff. Now, Jeff Johnson, it's my understanding this is his first budget, okay? So here's Sheriff Jeff Johnson of Dawson County. Now, Billy Carlisle, former Sheriff Billy Carlisle, retired, all right? He did not get beat, he retired. And in that, there was about 5 individuals that ran for sheriff, and, you know, Jeff Johnson won, and he's the new sheriff of Dawson County. Now, my understanding is I think this is his first budget. I don't know if it's his first or his second. It's his first term. The dispute between Dawson County Sheriff Jeff Johnson and the Board of Commissioners over the 2018 budget will move to Senior Superior Court Judge Fred A. Bishop courtroom Friday at 9:30 a.m. All right. On December 18th, Bishop ordered county commissioners to appear before him to show cause why Johnson's petition for mandamus should not be issued as requested, and such other relief by granted the facts of the case may warrant. Now, the mandamus, all right, it's like we intend to sue, okay? We intend to sue. So he's going forward. So you can get a mandamus, and usually what it is with a public or county office, like your city. If somebody intends, an official intends to sue the city, okay? If an official intends to sue a county, you do the mandamus saying, okay, we are intending to sue you. So that's been done, all right? Johnson claims the $8,273,080 budget approved by the commissioners for 2018 is inadequate for him to perform his duties. So Jeff Johnson, the sheriff, okay, of Dawson County, is taking a step that doesn't happen quite often. Usually this gets, okay, usually this gets settled in the conference room. Now, I'm going to step out here and I'm going to say, you know, the sheriff of Gilmer County, Stacy Nicholson, I've watched Stacy get fired up, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. We all know him here in Gilmer County. I've watched him get fired up with the commissioners. I watched the commissioners come back and say, you got to cut somewhere else, or you got to take money somewhere else if you want to make move here. But in my 9 years, going into 9 years with FetcherNews.com, I have yet to witness the sheriff taking the commission to court. Jeff Johnson's taking them to court. Friday is the court date. You can go to FetcherNews.com, Dawson County. You can read all the articles that Bill has there concerning this. Just go to news. Go to FetcherNews.com, Dawson County. Go to news. Click on news. And then click on Bill Johnson's name. Okay? And every one of these articles, you can read the entire storyline. But that's Friday, the sheriff. So I'm going to tell you, you know, when I write in the morning, I say this is local news. This is my opinion of local, state, and news. I will bet you after this lawsuit, there'll be a lot of bad blood there in Dawson County. This will make for one heck of an election season. And I have on good information that people are looking for candidates to run against Jeff Johnson next time for sheriff. I just have that on good authority. Now, I'm not calling the guy good or bad. We're going to see what the court says. But I think this is rubbing the people the wrong way. Got it? Okay, moving right along. Who is going to run for re-election in Gilmer County? And that would be Chairman Charlie Paris. Okay, the election season, the political posturing in local elections has made its way to 2018. The start is on by Chairman, that's Commission Chair in Gilmer County, Charlie Paris. Commission Chair Charlie Paris has announced, Lonnie has an article, if you go to fetchernews.com, Gilmer County, Lonnie has an article that he has publicly, Commission Chair, Gilmer Commission Chair Charlie Paris has publicly announced he will be seeking re-election to that office of chairman. So his 4-year term will be up. He's seeking re-election. So let's see who's coming out next. I will tell you this: if you attend your city, county meetings right now, watch. Except for Blue Ridge, they're done. But Fannin County, Gilmer County, all the surrounding counties, watch the political posturing. It's happening right now. But Charlie Paris has announced he will be running for re-election as commission chair in Gilmer County. Now, the last story, the next thing I want to do is Blue Ridge City Council. Go to the meet and greet, Lonnie. Blue Ridge City Council, next Tuesday, January 9th, I have the photo called meet and greet there, buddy. Blue Ridge City Council meet and greet and January meeting. So they are the next Tuesday at 9 o'clock, next Tuesday, January 9th, at 6 p.m. or at 5 p.m., there's going to be the swearing in and the city council at January meeting at 6 p.m. So there's a meet and greet. So at 5 o'clock at City Hall in Blue Ridge next Tuesday, you can come by and meet Mayor Donna Whitener, Council Member City Post 1, Harold Herndon, City Post 2, Rhonda Thomas, City Post 3, Ken Gaddis, City Post 4, Robbie Cornelius, and City Post 5, Nathan Fitz. Again, that's a meet and greet at 5 o'clock next Tuesday at City Hall. Come down, meet the council, meet the mayor, talk to them. The swearing-in ceremony for the the mayor and council will be at 6 o'clock. And now there's a couple things. The agenda is going to start going around. And I want to explain something before, I don't want to say gets out of hand. Go ahead and put up Blue Ridge agenda. Now, I did not crop the entire agenda, okay? Can you move that to where I could see it? Do you have that? You got that a little too. You got that a little too big there where they can't. There you go. That should be fine, Lonnie. That should be fine. Thank you. There we go. I can go right. I'm out of it. That's good. So what I want you to notice, if the agenda is going around, okay, and there's some question. Now, there's been a lot of talk on what the new council may do and may not do in some areas, but action agenda items that require the council's approval. And it says the mayor pro temp. Now, what is that appointment? Okay, that is, I think Rodney Kendall, former Councilman Kendall, was mayor pro temp. So if the mayor cannot be there or cannot act in her official role as mayor, and that is needed for some action or to facilitate a meeting, the mayor pro temp does it. So that will be one of the things they do. Now, city council appointments by the charter. Now, according to the charter of Blue Ridge, every year they have to reaffirm all the appointments. They just reaffirm them every year. It's the first act that they do. So you have a city attorney. They have to reaffirm a city attorney, city clerk, city treasurer, chief of police, municipal court judge, prosecuting attorney of the court appointed. Okay, so, and city auditor appointment. I clipped that out because what I want people to understand is they may or may not make some bold moves. Maybe they do make bold moves. But when you see the agenda, these are the things that have to be reaffirmed, are supposed to, according to the city charter. They're supposed to be reaffirmed annually, okay? City attorney, city clerk, city treasurer, chief of police, municipal court judge. So those are on the agenda, and we will see what the new council does. You'll find out next Tuesday. We'll have our reporter there, Jason Beck, will be there Tuesday night to report the city of Blue Ridge. Happy to announce Jason Beck will. That will be his assignment for 2018, the city of Blue Ridge. Natalie Kissel will be doing the Board of Commissioners for Fannin County. Two reporters there do an outstanding job. So that is Tuesday night. Come down, 5 o'clock, meet and greet. All of the new council members and the mayor. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, a swearing in of the council, Blue Ridge City Council at City Hall, and then the agenda, which you will be able to find online. So we will have that notice for the meet and greet. Now, last local story I want to do before we do our tax tips with Beth Bennett here at 9 o'clock. Last local story I want to do is what was the mysterious. Now, I always get told, well, what about the quarry? Okay, what about the quarry? The blasting. All right, there's blasting goes on at the quarry, and it just seemed over the holidays, and it just seemed at odd hours. Now, there's a lot of people saying, well, I think it was the blasting at the quarry is what people are hearing. But Natalie Kissel, and I want you to know that if you would like to help her with any information, you could contact her, Natalie at FetcherNews.com. I think her email address, right, Lonnie? I think it's just Natalie at FetcherNews.com. You can contact her. But she wrote a story because she wanted to look into the mysterious boom rattles Fannin County. And you can find this on FetcherNews.com. Residents in Fannin and Gilmer counties took to social media late Friday night, trying to find the source of what's been described as loud explosion. The boom that took place had enough force that some residents were reporting their homes shaking from the blast. Okay, so if you would like to, if you're concerned about some of these loud booms, you got to understand that these have been reported in so many other areas in the state of Georgia. Okay, if you Google this, you will find these reports are multiple reports in other areas, not just our area. So Natalie calls me the other day and she said, I want to do something on this. I said, take off. Take off. So her email is Natalie at FetcherNews.com if you say, hey, I heard the boom, or I think I know what it is, or I think I know somebody that can tell you what it is. We're looking for geologists, scientists, whatever, but Natalie is continuing to follow that. That is on FetcherNews.com, Fannin County. The sheriff, Jeff Johnson's story about the suing the Board of Commissioners in Dawson, that's on Fetcher News Dawson County. Click on the Dawson County tab and click on News and find Bill Johnson. And then last but not least, if you would like to see, if you would like to read Gilmer Commission Chair Charlie Parris's statement in the interview. Lonnie did an interview with the chairman on his his announcement to run for re-election as commission chair. You can find that on FetcherNews.com, Gilmer County. I'm going to take a break. As soon as I get back, what will the Tax Reform Job Act mean to you in 2018? Is there a certain way that you may file that's different in 2017 based on what could be coming down the pike in 18? So don't take for granted that this is next year. You may have a certain way you need to file for some things this year based on what's coming, and we have some answers for you. We're going to have Beth Bennett, H&R Block Tax Tips as soon as we return. Take us to break, Lonnie.